Our first bite at the NBA schedule is here. Season tips off in exactly 70 days from today. The Knicks will raise their banner at MSG, but that's not the first game on the NBA slate. Take the day off from work if you live in Detroit. The NBA season will officially start with the Celtics at Pistons on October 20th at 3 p.m. Eastern. The top two seeds in the East last season. Again, that game tips off at 3. Opening night, now an all-day event on the calendar. The marquee game, though, on the slate, the Knicks begin their title defense against LeBron and the Sixers, making his debut for the Sixers at Madison Square Garden at 7 Eastern. In his career, James just 1-8 in his team's season openers when on the road. And finally, the rematch of the Western Conference Finals. Thunder at Spurs, a titanic battle between top two favorites to win the MVP this season, Victor Wembanyama and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And they'll tip off at 9:30 Eastern. All those games on NBC. All right, and welcome inside the studio. I'm George Sedano in for Malika Andrews alongside David Dennis Jr., Chiney Ogwumike, and Dave McMenamin. All right, we got the slate now, right? Opening night, national television, all the games on Christmas or whatever, right? We've seen it all now. So the reigning champs, let's get back to them. The Knicks opening their season against LeBron and the Sixers. Dave, what do you expect the atmosphere to be like at MSG?
It's going to be like Game 4 of the NBA Finals when they made that incredible comeback. And it was electric within the walls of that arena, the world's best arena. And you have the most intriguing team as their opponent. The Sixers would have been intriguing had they just traded for Jaylen Brown, but you throw in LeBron James. It's going to be must-see TV, and it's going to be where I'm going to be. I'm going to be there for that opening night game.
Can I come with you?
Oh, please, come on.
Can we just clear my schedule just for that
Yeah,
day?
let's do it.
Wasn't there like a little subplot of if the Knicks didn't win, LeBron potentially could have gone there,
Rich
right?
Paul said it.
So
right.
To me, that's even more wild, the fact that this is a team that he could have seen himself on, but instead he's on the Sixers, and I just feel like we're underselling the energy because they're going to have rings for the players. I'm sure that everyone courtside is going to have rings as well.
Yes.
Rich Gahardate, John Turturro, Zach Joe,
The whole SVU
Ben
crew.
Stiller, the
Yes.
entire crew of SVU has rings. But to me, this is great. This is how you start the season. You want to see the biggest matchups, and that's it right there. The biggest players and the biggest teams in the most magical arena.
All right, David, what's the best possible matchup for opening night for you?
To me, I mean, yeah, it's that matchup, right? It is the Lakers-Sixers, but also we got to also talk about that Spurs OKC.
Oh,
right?
no doubt.
Like that to me is the definitive rivalry that we're going to have for the next decade probably. As these young guys are going to be going at each other for the foreseeable future. Right now, no disrespect to the Knicks, I still have them in that top tier with them, but these are the two teams that have the best odds to make it to win the championship, right? And we're talking about like a nasty rivalry. This thing went 7, and we're coming off of this thing talking about Chet.
Wemby cried when he won.
Wemby cried when he won, but look at what we're talking about with OKC. Yeah. Chet got his lunch money taken. Everybody's talking about how he was in the offseason. J-Dub and the idea that, hey, he's not healthy. The OKC would have won that series. I want opening night. I want 7 games in the playoffs. I want a midseason tournament. I don't know if we can add another game. Like, Blake can play 15 times. I want as many of these games as we possibly can.
Yeah. You're here. I mean, listen, also, let's talk about the Sixers Knicks, though, for a second. It's banner night, right?
Right.
Too. I mean, like, this 53 years, they've been waiting to see that. So we get to see that go up. And the last 2 times LeBron was in the building when a team raised the banner, the Nuggets and the Warriors, 10-point losses. So he has something to try to reverse that.
And if we're speaking about, Madison Square Garden, the cheapest ticket right now for ring night, banner night, is $2,000. We're already in playoff form on game 1 of 82.
$2,000.
So you buying the ticket, or you get a credential?
So I might need to find that credential.
Okay, we can work on that.
I'm not going to buy that ticket.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it just tells you everything, that this is the place to be. And I just can't see a better way to start the season than that. Like, hello, we are back.
And we're talking about those Knicks fans. Like, of course, it's been a celebration. And the Knicks, the one thing you know about New York, they know how to find a chip on their shoulder. Right? And as much as they're celebrating, they know that everybody in this offseason has been talking about the other teams, the other moves. Philadelphia has snatched all of these headlines. LeBron is there. Jaylen Brown is there. Now the Knicks are like, hey, wait, don't forget about us. This was not a one-off. Yes, this was a drought that we ended. Everybody's happy. We want another one. We are New York. The fans are going to be feeling that. The Knicks are going to take that crown back and say, we have a reason that you're talking about us.
Who's most likely, in your opinion, to hoist the championship trophy this coming season?
Oh, wow. So I'm not ready to say it's going to be any of those teams.
Oh, okay.
I'm just not ready.
Okay.
Like, would we have all said the Knicks last year in August?
No, I don't believe.
Probably not, right? Until they caught fire
Right.
in the playoffs. So I'm open for another team emerging, but I do think all three teams on the right are the championship tier. They're the prohibitive favorites on the three teams on the right.
The Spurs and Thunder have the shortest odds to win the 2027 NBA title at plus 270. And the last time there were two teams tied for the shortest title odds to start the season was the 22-23 season with the reigning conference champion Celtics and Warriors. Chiney, real quick, any thoughts on the question I asked, Dave?
You know, I think the most interesting stat is that we've had a different champion for 8 seasons straight.
Right.
So even though teams want to get back to the mountaintop, that path is so much harder. If you look at the Eastern Conference, yeah, you feel good if you're the Knicks when you won, but then a few months later or a few weeks later, now you're looking at Toronto and Kawhi pending. Now you're looking at Miami and, you know, Giannis heading down there. Now you're looking at Philly. Most obviously, you'll get a good look at them on opening night. But then we haven't talked about the Detroit Pistons. Didn't they finish last year with the best record?
60-plus wins, right?
In the Eastern Conference, they're also one of those teams that are flying under the radar. I don't know why. I just have been following the chemistry building. The San Antonio Spurs, I think they're going to be motivated from falling short, okay?
Yeah.
So I like how they're together in France and all those types of things. So I look at the Spurs like maybe they can do it.
All right, let me ask you, Dave. You mentioned you'll be at the Knicks game. How about that matinee that we got, Detroit and Boston?
It's the first time in league history.
Yeah.
There's going to be 3 nationally televised games on opening night in a lockout shortened season.
Right.
And I've talked to people around the league today, and they're like, we could sense the excitement for the NBA right now, so let's experiment with this thing.
Let's do it.
They talked with executives at NBC, and it was kind of a joint decision that this is something we can turn into a celebration of the game. It's already a marquee moment for the league. Let's see if we can enhance it and turn it into a major showcase. Maybe down the line this becomes a tradition for NBA fans. And listen, like, it's not that abnormal to see sporting events during the daytime
Baseball
in
does it all the
America.
time.
Baseball, the NHL season tipped off at 5 p.m. or whatever, pucked off.
Got the puck.
There you go. And then also added bonus, hey, it's an international game. 3 p.m. Eastern is primetime viewing in Europe.
That's a great point, for sure.
3 p.m. Eastern is also primetime viewing in America for NBA content.
Fair enough, too. Hey, listen, noon Pacific, I'll take it. That's just the start. On the following night, we have a monster doubleheader to tip off ESPN's calendar. We get our very first look at the reshaped rosters for the Wolves and Heat, followed by Steph and the Warriors taking on the Lakers. That first game features the debut of some new teammates, Giannis and Bam against LaMelo and Ant. Chiney, which new duo are you most excited to see?
Give me South Beach. Give me Miami because the front court combines for potentially, 60 points per game and 25 rebounds per game on 60% shooting, which is wild. Keep an eye, though, on their guards because they are losing Tyler Hero, who is a three-point shooter. They lost Norm Powell, who was an all-star, led them and made threes. So there will be a lot of shots to be had based off of that front court prowess in the paint. Hopefully the guys will knock down shots so that they can actually start rolling.
And do LaMelo and Bam still have beef? We'll find out. Luka and Austin Reeves have the keys in L.A. now that LeBron is gone. So, Dave, how are the Lakers feeling about their roster in the post-LeBron era?
George, I know Luka's been on the team for a year and a half, but this is going to be the start of the Luka Doncic era in Los Angeles. This roster was retrofit around his skill set, his needs, his wants, starting with Walker Kessler, obviously, in the middle. They were able to retain Austin Reeves, and they got a bunch of new role players. All 5 starters that played in the opening round against the Houston Rockets for the Lakers are now gone. It's going to be a very different team with Luka Doncic at the middle.
ESPN has another doubleheader on Thursday. The next day, on the 22nd, it's the Cavs, and they'll be in Philly for LeBron and the Sixers home opener at 7 Eastern, followed by Denver in OKC against the Thunder. So the Joker and Shea. For a while, it seemed like LeBron was going to return to Cleveland. So DDJ, when they go into Philly and face off, who will have more motivation that particular night?
It's got to be Cleveland. Last time we saw them, everybody was saying that they quit against the Knicks. Then you have an offseason where you feel like you're in pole position for LeBron James, and he chose Philadelphia over going back home to end his career. You show up and say, we're the team better than what we showed everybody at the end of that conference finals, and we can still win without LeBron James. This is for Cleveland to reestablish themselves as being the second best team, at least in the East.
As for the Nuggets and Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic have combined to win 5 of the last 6 MVP awards. And over that span, they've split their 18 regular season meetings exactly down the middle, 9-9. SGA averaging just under 27 points per game, and Jokic nearly averaging a 23-point triple-double. All right, a year ago at this point, we were looking at Denver as the biggest threat to the Oklahoma City Thunder in the West. So, DDJ, how close is Denver to the top of the West right now?
They're a lot further from the top of the West than they were at the beginning of last season. Like, we got to think about this team as it was OKC trying to, repeat, and Denver being the team that was right there. Since then, they lost in that first round. Jokic played the worst series probably of his career against Rudy Gobert, and they lost against a Minnesota Timberwolves team that had nobody in their front court, in their back court as starters. This team has a lot to gain. Some of these contracts, the Christian Brown contract, they're going to lose Peyton Watson, it looks like. This looks like a worse version of this Nuggets team than we had last year, and Jokic is going to have to carry even more of a load for them to be competitors this season.
While competing internationally, Jokic did an interview in his native language, and he intimated that he would be signing an extension with the Nuggets next summer. But the fact of the matter is he did not sign with them this summer. And so this is a paramount season for them to prove as an organization that you can still be the best player in the world and have a chance to contend for a championship. If they have a season where they go off the rails or they don't appear to be one of the best teams in the West, he can make money a lot of places, right? It has to make him recalculate things if they don't get back to the level they were 3 years ago when they won the chip.
Yeah, it being the expectation for a paramount season, do they have a paramount roster? They have as such player in Jokic.
Yeah.
I feel like we sleep on the fact that he averaged 27, 13, and 11, led the NBA in rebounds and assists. That's wild, but it seems like they're doubling down on that type of production when you look at the roster instead of trying to get him some help. Health is going to be very important for this roster. Also, when you think of Jamal Murray, that was an all-star year, finally, last year, but still they didn't have enough. And so I'm looking at them, and you're right, DDJ. Minnesota in some ways took some risks, but they're trying to take a step forward. San Antonio will absolutely take a step forward. Houston will have a point guard. Hopefully they'll be a little bit more competitive. A lot of teams in the West are looking desperately to improve, to compete, whereas it seems like this team stayed the same, even though Jokic is just phenomenal.
Well, there's an extra motivating factor for Jokic here, too. This time last year, I feel like we were talking about Jokic, best in the world, nobody's even close. There was a wide gap between him, second and third. After the playoffs, after we saw Wemby do, SGA, and the way they went out in the first round, I'm not sure Jokic has an undisputed claim as the best player in the world anymore, and he's taken notice of that, too. I think he can use this as a time to reestablish that and say, look, I'm better than everybody.
Well, I think it's still aspirational for players like Victor Wembanyama. How old is he? 20 and some change?
22, right?
Right, 22 and some change. Jokic is still that guy. At times, you could just see the season, the expectations, the weight carrying on him. I think SGA still, even like very similar. People sleep on his stats as well. I think it's a little bit more neck and neck.
Right.
He's still that dude, but I do think that there's a distance between where others are trying to go because he is at that mountaintop individually.
And with Denver, obviously, the health of Aaron Gordon and health in general really was an issue that stymied them last year.
NBA